Test 2 TOEFL iBT Speaking Simulation Test 1. Green circle Task 1 Independent Speaking Prompt. Do you agree or disagree with the following statement? It is better to study alone than with a group. Give reasons and examples to support your answer. Model answer. I personally prefer studying alone because it helps me concentrate better. In a group, people often get distracted and start chatting. When I study alone, I can go at my own pace and focus on areas where I'm weak. For example, before my math exam, I spent time reviewing difficult formulas by myself and did well. This shows that solo study suits me better. Notes. Mention personal study habits. Include one clear example. Use contrast. In a group, but when I study alone. Blue circle Task 2 Reading plus Conversation. Reading. Library study rooms policy change. The university has decided that only graduate students may reserve private study rooms. Undergraduate students can still use open spaces but cannot reserve private rooms. Listening summary. The man disagrees. He says undergraduates also need quiet spaces, especially during exams. He mentions that many undergraduates work part-time and can only study late, so private rooms help them focus. He thinks the policy is unfair and unhelpful. Model answer. The man disagrees with the library's new policy. He believes that undergraduates also need private study rooms, especially during exams. He argues that many undergraduates have jobs and can only study late at night. Without a quiet space, it's hard for them to focus. He thinks the policy is unfair. Notes. Emphasize fairness and accessibility. Use time-based arguments. Can only study late. Link arguments to the purpose of study rooms. Purple circle Task 3 Reading plus Lecture. Reading. Concept. Mirror neurons. Mirror neurons are brain cells that activate when we perform an action and also when we see someone else do the same thing. These neurons help us understand others' actions and emotions. Lecture summary. The professor describes a baby watching her father clap. When the baby sees the clapping, her mirror neurons fire as if she were clapping too. Later, she imitates him. This shows how mirror neurons help learning and empathy. Model answer. Mirror neurons help us understand and copy others. The professor explains how a baby watches her father clap. Her brain responds like she's clapping too. Later, she copies the action. This shows how mirror neurons support learning and empathy. Notes. Start with the definition. Describe the example clearly. End by connecting to the main idea. Empathy and learning. Orange circle Task 4 Lecture only. Lecture summary. The professor talks about urban heat islands. He says cities are warmer than rural areas because buildings and roads absorb heat. He gives the example of a city where temperatures are 5 degrees higher than nearby countryside. This can lead to health problems and energy overuse. Model answer. Urban heat islands are cities that are hotter than nearby areas. The professor says this happens because concrete and asphalt absorb heat. He gives an example where a city is 5 degrees warmer than rural areas. This causes health issues and more electricity use for cooling. Notes. Define the term clearly. Quantify the example. Highlight consequences like health and energy.